We now move to the AEW Rampage preview, which, if you did not know, Rampage is actually set to take place tonight. (10 p.m. Eastern Time) on TNT. TBS. Or TNT. No, I was right. But either way, the Outcast will be in action tonight as Toni Storm fights Allysin Kay. Allysin Kay is known for her time in the NWA and is getting an opportunity to be featured in AEW. Allysin Kay is one of the more underappreciated unknowns in the women's wrestling world, and somebody that has really taken off and become a featured star in the NWA. So it is good to see her in AEW getting an opportunity to showcase her talent on a national stage. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn will go against Kip Sabian, the Butcher and the Blade, tonight in six-man action, as this comes off of The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn winning the Trios Battle Royal a couple of weeks ago, and you'd figure that at some point, if they haven't already, get the opportunity, which I believe the last time we saw the House of Black in action, it was a Trios match involving the Best Friends. It wasn't a Trios match involving The Acclaimed, but you have to figure at some point maybe we would see The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn against Malachi Buddy Matthews and Brody King for the AEW Trios Championships. Speaking of trios, the Mogul affiliates, the Mogul Embassy, Swerve Strickland and Brian Cage, show off the partnership between the Mogul affiliates and the Dark Order. The Mogul affiliates and the Embassy tonight as Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland team up for the very first time against the Dark Order. I, again, don't know if this means that that Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee are still feuding with the Mogul affiliates or the Mogul Embassy. It seems that way, but if there's any feud that has really lost its luster and lost its momentum, it is 100% Swerve versus Keith Lee, as that rivalry has lost a lot of luster the last couple of months for a smattering of reasons. But either way, John Silver and Alex Reynolds are viable challengers as the Mogul Embassy look to find some momentum and find their feet underneath them, as once again the former FTW World Champion Brian Cage is back in action on AEW programming. Speaking of back in action, Action Andretti against Kyle Fletcher tonight. I believe Kyle Fletcher is one of the imports from New Japan. I want to say Kyle is one of the members of Aussie Open or the United Empire. Or maybe the United Empire and Aussie Open are the same. I honestly don't know off the top of my head because I don't really pay enough attention to New Japan to know. I just know Kyle Fletcher is one of the people that we've seen before, and it will be a tough test for Action Andretti tonight on Rampage, but it is good to see the young man back in action on AEW programming for the first time in probably at least a couple months, to be honest with you. But also, tonight on AEW, you will hear from the Guns as Colton and Austin Gunn. I don't think we've heard from them since they lost the tag team titles to FTR, so it is something that we've been waiting for the last couple of months, from the last couple of weeks, as Austin Gunn and Colton have really came into their own as the champions and showed some potential that I don't know if people thought that was there for them to be the leaders of the division, which I would say I think that they deserve a pat on the back and some bit of applause for the work they did as the tag team champions, because they have come forward as some of the top performers in AEW's tag team division over the last couple of months, and two guys that genuinely could be considered heels, which is a rare sight in AEW's tag team division or in AEW in general, because it feels like not anybody. It feels like most people in AEW just want to be liked. They don't want to be heels. If that makes sense. But, you know, I would have to say I applaud Austin and Colton for the work that they did and the work that they've done since the start of the new year. I think that they've done a wonderful job and deserve all the bits of applause and respect because they've done a wonderful job since the start of the new year. As far as the other matches, once again, it is the Mogul Embassy against the Dark Order, the Acclaimed and six-man tag team action against Kip Sabian, the Butcher and the Blade, Action Andretti against Kyle Fletcher, and Tony Storm against Allison Kay. I don't know if this is going to lead to Allison Kay being more featured in AEW, or being more featured on AEW, I should say. But what I do know is, I know Allison Kay from the NWA, and she has done a wonderful job being one of the featured performers in the women's division of the NWA, and it's just a likely next step for Allison Kay to be featured in AEW. And also, I just want to clarify one thing, and the one thing I want to clarify is that, yes, in fact, I was right. Kyle Fletcher is the partner of Mark Davis as a member of Aussie Open. And he will be an extremely tough test for Action Andretti tonight on Rampage. I just want to mention once again that, well, number one, Double or Nothing is right around the corner on May 27th, and more matches will be named for the event, or announced for the event, as we get closer to Double or Nothing in the next couple of weeks. I do believe that there are 2 episodes of Dynamite left before Double or Nothing, as Double or Nothing has been one pay-per-view that the AEW never fails to impress upon the fans of the importance of the event. With that being said, though, that is it for me. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more of it, let me know down in the comment section below. If you don't want the news videos to disappear, the previews like this will not go anywhere, but the news videos may not be weekly, may not be daily anymore. Let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see that change, or if you want me to keep doing the news videos on a daily basis. Let me know down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that is it for me, and I will see you in the next.